This is going to be the only video that you will ever need for Klaviyo email marketing for your e-commerce brand. And to be honest with you, I'm genuinely convinced this is the best email marketing video you will find on YouTube today, and I'm giving away everything for you completely free. Inside this complete step-by-step tutorial, I'm going to be revealing all the secrets, the principles and processes that we've been able to use to add an extra 500K to brands like Ganja Express in just 30 days, brands like Lumi Therapy, where we've been able to generate an extra 233K in just 5 days, and even Native Smokes here, who we also added an extra $233,000 in just 30 days. This is going to be a proven process that we've used time and time again to help brands just like yourself add an extra 7 figures without increasing any ad spend. I'm going to go through the complete setup of your Klaviyo account from start to finish. If you've never even stepped foot in Klaviyo before, you're going to learn how to actually set up your account, how to navigate, set up some advanced segmentation, and also campaigns, flows. Everything is going to be revealed today. This is going to be the only video that you will ever need to watch for Klaviyo email marketing. So with that being said, let's not waste any time and get straight into it.
Let's get into this course. Of course, the main thing that I want to go through just before we get into this is who I actually am, because it's always good to know where the authority lies and why you should actually listen to me in the first place. Check me out on Instagram and also on YouTube. My links are here. So my name is Tom. I'm the founder of Sunlo Consulting. We are a strictly e-commerce email marketing agency serving only e-commerce brands. Generated around 30 million plus in attributed email revenue for our clients over the past 2 years, and of course that is still ongoing. So that's where we lie in terms of email marketing. Again, I have actually been in the game for a lot longer, since 2016. Myself and my business partner Luke here, also my co-founder at Sunlo Consulting, we went ahead, started our own e-commerce brands in 2016, done that for around 3 years, and then of course we said let's start a paid ads agency so we can get more experience in different niches and of course just handle our expertise further with CRO, ads, email, etc, etc. Done that for around 2 years. Noticed email was just getting some absolutely insane results for us. It was copy and paste, simple, just put our processes in and watch the revenue come pouring through. I've done that for around 3 years now, and of course worked with over 60 plus e-commerce brands, and again we've never had a negative review or a refund, which of course we always guarantee results to our clients. So that's pretty much the gist of it. That's who I am. This business model has completely changed my clients' businesses. Like, it's proven print on repeat results. We get around 40 to 60% in email revenue. Even brands that we've worked with on big scale as well, around 3 million plus, is getting around 70% coming from email. Again, 65% and so forth. I've got tons of results that I could show you for days and days, but I'd rather just get through the results and straight into the value so we can start to learn things. Again, I've got a full-blown agency. I've got over 14 plus employees now, account managers, strategists, graphic designers, and so forth. And of course, we get some absolutely beautiful email designs as well if this wants to load. So yes, just to show you a bit of proof in the pudding, again, we know exactly how to get some really addictive email designs that, again, just absolutely suck the user in and get that click and of course get the results. So you're going to learn how to do all of this and what actually makes a good email campaign, everything that you need to achieve results like the results that I have just shown you. Okay, 30 plus Trustpilot reviews, 5-star ratings across the board. We've only ever had one negative review because somebody genuinely, they just didn't qualify for our services, and of course we just had to decline them. Okay, so absolutely off the charts. I've got the case studies to back it. You're in some really safe hands, and I promise you this is going to be the only email marketing video you will ever need to get results like this. So why is email marketing important? Email marketing is 50% of your business, and I say this because we see around 40 to 60% of attributed revenue coming in from email marketing. That is our average, 50%. So with that being a indicator to how important this is, let's actually go through again how this helps with scalability. So of course, e-commerce is not just the future of purchasing, it's rapidly becoming a dominant force in retail across the board. Online shopping has become much more competitive than ever. That's a given. We all know how this is working, right? As e-commerce explodes, there's just more people coming on the market. Anyone can start an e-commerce brand these days, whether it's starting with dropshipping. You could be competing with Tom, Harry, Jeff from their bedroom, right, starting these e-commerce brands. What does that mean? It means more people are now using platforms like TikTok, influencer marketing, ads. Everyone is spending more on ads because they want to drive more traffic to their website. That's the problem, because what happens if everyone is on the same platform, they're using the same channels? Well, the CPMs are going to go up, so it's just going to become more and more cost effective for ads. You're going to have to spend more on ads because you're competing with everyone else who's putting more money into the auction-based system. And essentially, whoever can spend the most in order to acquire a customer is going to win. So what I want to sort of show you here is, now that I've explained the importance of increased competition, there's more e-com brands popping up every day. What you need to understand is, in order to beat your competitors, you need to be able to spend the most in order to acquire a customer. So again, just speaking hypothetically here, let's just say your ad costs to acquire a customer are $10, but the profit from that customer is $5. You're now capped at $5 profit from every single customer. That is all you're getting. You're now scarce and have very limited margins to scale. So this is going to leave you in a constant scarcity mindset and not give you any oomph to test new ads and scale further. And again, we all know winning ads are of course eventually going to fatigue. It's only a matter of time until you find another best winning ad that gets an even lower cost per acquisition. So good luck with that. That's sort of the bottom line, and that's just how it's going to be. So just put this in mind as well. Of course, let's just say you've got a proven back-end remarketing system in place that predictably gets you an additional $20 profit per customer. How we do this is of course just through nurturing with a series of upsells, cross-sells, etc. Now you have $25 profit per customer, which is a much healthier margin to scale and play around with. You can now afford to spend more in order to acquire that customer. Nothing's changed with your ads and nothing has changed with your website conversion rate. All you've done is implemented a proven back-end remarketing system that is cost efficient and reliable as. Okay, amen. That's how you scale. That's how you have competitive edge over your competitors, and that's how you dominate a market. So remember, in order to scale your front end, you need to scale with your back end. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. The power of the inbox. So there are over 4.26 billion email users worldwide. 89% of people check their email inbox at least once a day. The email inbox is the most concentrated form of attention available. It's a direct line to your audience. So simply being present with your customers' inboxes, of course, keeps you top of their mind. You're the brand that they're going to come to as soon as they need your product. One thing to add as well, email is the most cost-effective marketing channel. It's not just powerful, it's the most affordable form of marketing available. Sending an email costs a fraction of a cent, making it the cheapest form of attention in the digital marketing toolkit compared to other channels like paid advertising or social media. Email allows you to engage with your audience at scale without breaking the bank. So just to sort of summarize this, e-com is more competitive than ever. It's almost impossible to get someone to buy from you the first time they visit your website. So email marketing offers a cost-effective way to build trust, educate your audience, eliminating the need for expensive paid ads. I'm going to change that from retargeting ads. I'm going to say paid ads as a whole. We're not disregarding paid ads, by the way. There's a time and a place. They're like yin and yang. You can't have one without the other. I'm just saying you need this in order to scale. In order to scale your front end, you need to scale with your back end. And by sending emails, you're going to be able to create more impactful relationships with your customers, boost retention, and drive long-term growth. So let's go ahead and, of course, go through how you can actually start sending out mass emails with, of course, email marketing, right, for your brand. We can't go ahead and just do it straight from a Gmail account. It doesn't work like that. It's much more complicated. When it comes to email marketing, you need what we call an ESP, also known as an email service provider. So essentially, it's just a powerful tool that you can use to segment people in your list, of course, set up workflows for automations, campaigns, and of course, assess all the data and analytics. Okay. What I would say is, if you have gone ahead and done some research on different tools like Klaviyo, MailChimp, different ESPs, don't use anything other than Klaviyo. It truly is the best option, especially if you're serious about growing your e-commerce brand. Leading brands use Klaviyo for a reason. It's specifically designed for e-commerce and offers advanced integrations and features that other ESPs just simply can't match. Okay. So again, I've just got 5 different sort of main USPs as to why you should go ahead and use Klaviyo. Of course, the main one is it's tailored for e-com, gives you advanced analytics and data, and allows you to deliver personalized messages that drive conversions. Also, it means you can easily track customer behavior across your website and tailor different email marketing campaigns specifically for each stage in that customer journey. That's the basics. Of course, there's other stuff to it as well in terms of segmentation and workflows. We're not going to delve into that too much. The main thing is you want to use Klaviyo and you want to make sure that you get set up on this right now. If you're not, if you're on MailChimp, just move over. I've basically listed a little hyperlink here. If you want to go ahead and click on that link, it will basically take you to the page where you can just go ahead and set up an account. Of course, I'm not going to go ahead and set up an account because I'm not going to waste any time doing this. And of course, once you've actually gone ahead, you've got into the platform, you've set up your Klaviyo account, what I want you to do is make sure that you integrate all your pages correctly. So, of course, if you're on Shopify and different tools like this or WooCommerce, the same methodology is going to apply to add an integration. The status should say enabled. I'm going to give you a quick tutorial from one of my account managers now. Alex, he's going to take over and just show you how you can go ahead, set up on-site tracking as well so that you've got the different trackings for different stages of your customer funnel, that being the added to cart snippet, and just making sure that we're getting real time where the actual customer is. If they've viewed a product, they've added it to cart, or they've started the checkout. checkout. Similar to the Facebook pixel, if you've ever seen that before, where it's like viewed product, add to cart, etc. Right, over to Alex.
So what you need to do for the on-site tracking, right now this is for the YouTube account. I basically disabled the on-site tracking so I can show you how to do it. So you have to click this one, view your Shopify app embedded settings. Click on it. It will take you to this page in the Shopify account, and here on the left side you'll basically have the app Klaviyo, and right now it looks like it's triggered, but this is how it will look when the on-site tracking is deactivated. What you need to do is come here, click on this, and then important, click on the save button so it can actually save the changes. And right now when you go back on the Klaviyo page, just hit a refresh and you can see the Klaviyo app embed is enabled in the Shopify store. So that's all you have to do. Click on this, it will take you to this page, trigger this one, hit save, and then refresh on this page. Now for the add to cart metric, let's close this one and this one. Right now we are on the online store page, themes. What you want to do is hit the customize button, and at the top here you'll hit the three dots, click edit code. It will open up another page. You want to go to the theme.liquid tab, click on it, scroll all the way to the bottom, and let's see, where is it? Let me move this. Just before the body tag you want to come to the Klaviyo article, and this is important. Before you copy the snippet, you first have to have these comments. If product, just take it and you copy. You go back to the page, paste that, hit enter, hit another enter. You want to go back to the page, take the and if snippet, go back to the edit code page, paste it there as well, and between these two, between if product and if, what you want to do is take all this code all the way up until here, all this thing, copy, go back to this page, and just like I said, between these two just paste the code. So it will basically be if product, the snippet for the add to cart, and then the and if command. So this is what you have to do. I don't think it was added before, or it may have. So what I'm going to do now, I can hit save, and to make sure it works, grab this part, go to the website youpay.com or whatever it is, and at the end add this command, replace the part after the equal with the email, your email, alexander@sunloconsulting.com, hit enter, and then just go on, let's say one product, click add to cart, and then go back on the website, refresh the page. And what you want to do is go on the Klaviyo account, search for your name or your email that you used, for example Alexander, and see if the add to cart metric is firing. It should appear here. Sometimes it may take a few minutes. I think I added the add to cart snippet a while ago when I set up the account, so it should be right here. Yeah, I added this a few months ago, but basically it takes a few minutes to come in. And that's it. That's for the on-site metric and the add to cart one.
So we're whizzing through this already. By now you should have gone ahead and actually set up your Klaviyo account with this link here. You've logged into your Klaviyo account. Alex has actually just gone ahead and shown you exactly how to integrate your pages to Klaviyo. So you should now see a Shopify or WooCommerce integration here, and of course the status should say enabled for the integration. And to add to that as well, you've now got enabled on-site tracking. So essentially all this is a feature that enables us to see the customer's behavior in real time. So if a customer's now viewed a product on your website, or they've added it to cart or started the checkout, we've now integrated that with Klaviyo and we can track that data in real time. Perfect. Before we go ahead and start sending out mass emails, there's one more thing you need to understand as well beyond that integration that we've just done, and that is deliverability. So when it comes to deliverability, when you send out an email, you want to make sure you're landing in your customer's inbox. You don't want it to go in the spam folder or the promotions tab. All deliverability is just making sure we're seeing as many people as possible and landing in that primary inbox. So why that matters, again, just coming back to my last point, seeing as many people as possible, maximizing reach. Okay, so we want to see as many people as possible possible. That's why it matters. Also, protect your sender reputation. So making sure that we're not getting frequent email bounces, not getting marked as spam, or just not getting ignored, because that can affect your sending reputation. Number 3, of course, improved engagement. So better deliverability, you're going to get better open rates, better click rates, and of course, more revenue coming in as well. So that's why it matters. There are some technicalities that you need to understand in order to get the best possible deliverability. Number 1 is authentication protocols. So just setting up SPF, DKIM, and DMARC. I'm not going to go into this too heavily now, but I'm going to just show you a tutorial in a minute as well, so we don't waste time and just get through this as quick as possible. Authentication protocols being number 1. Number 2, list hygiene. So removing any inactive subscribers. If there are people who are on your email list who just haven't engaged in your emails in, the past 180 days, we're going to go ahead and get rid of these people automatically for you. So I'm going to show you how to automatically clean your list so you don't have to worry about this. That's one thing. And of course, just making sure you have a double opt-in as well. So implementing a double opt-in process, of course, help with cleaning your list and keeping it nice and healthy, right? Number 3, segmentation. So this is huge. You don't want to go ahead and just send out an email to your entire list. You want to make sure that you're sending out to the most engaged audience to begin with, and then we can sort of see based on the data if it's getting a good open rate, getting a good click rate based on that engaged list, we can start to expand it. So I would always suggest doing a 30-day engaged segmentation, then building it out to 60 days and 90 days and so forth. And then once we've got a really good deliverability score on Klaviyo, we can then go ahead and start sending it to the entire list. Number 4, IP warming. So if it is a new dedicated domain and sender, of course, you want to make sure that you are sending out low amounts of volume of emails just to gradually increase the volume of emails and warm that account up. That's just going to help get you a positive sender reputation over time. So you've got to take it slowly to begin with if you haven't sent out any campaigns before. Number 5, monitoring and reporting. So just like when you've got your car and let's say you've got an oil leak or your engine lights come on, there are some data points on Klaviyo that we can use to monitor and gauge what's happening with your Klaviyo account. So if there's any issue coming up, like your engine lights coming up, okay, let's just say it's your bounce rate, your open rate, or your spam complaint rate, we can then go ahead and use that data to, of course, basically just assess how we can tackle this issue and resolve that problem, right? Best practices as well, just for maintaining strong deliverability, is sending consistently. You don't want to wait a week to send out another campaign or 2 weeks to send out a campaign. It's too long of a period. You want to ideally send out a campaign at least 2 times per week as a minimum. That's just so the ISPs can recognize and start trusting your sending patterns, and of course, just making sure it's consistent with your consumers. Use recognizable from names. So when it comes to when you're sending out an email, you want to make sure you're sending it from your company name and the same person is sending out at a time. Again, it could be like for me, for example, it's tom@sunloconsulting.com. That's our sending name. You don't want to change it to I don't want to put tom@google.com because I don't work for Google and they're like, why am I getting messages from Google? I signed up for Tom's email list at Sunlo Consulting, right? Subject lines, again, just avoid spammy words. You don't want to use some annoying flag spam words or just excessive amounts of punctuation. And of course, just optimizing your email content as well. So we're going to go through design a bit more thoroughly later as well, just to make sure that it's, friendly for mobile users and there's not too many links, attachments, etc. that can just trigger spam. And of course, spam filters are just what we want to avoid, right? What I'm going to do now is, of course, just coming back to my point earlier regarding authentication protocols. This is a bit technical. It's a bit more advanced than just sending out with less spammy filters and stuff like that. What we're going to do now is just go ahead and set up your guide to your domain. So I'm just going to take this over to Faustus, my other exec here at Sunlo Consulting, my email marketing exec. He's just going to walk you through how to go ahead and set up your domains. So over to you, Faustus.
This is how you set up a dedicated sending domain in Klaviyo. You click the bottom left here, go into settings, go into domain, connect a domain, type your domain of your website that you'll be sending from, click next, and then add a prefix here. Send is usually just fine. Click next, set up manually. Select your DNS provider. If you're using Shopify, then select those. If it's another one, select other, and then just click next. Then go into your DNS records like we are here. To find your DNS records for Shopify, you'd go into the settings, domains, and then click the domain of your choice. This is an example. Then you'd edit DNS settings, add custom records, and then just copy those records. So CNAME record, you'd add a CNAME, copy the name here, and then the value here, and then confirm. Once you've done all them, just verify, finish, and then that should be the dedicated sending domain all done. To add DMARC, you need to go to your domain settings, to your DNS settings, and then add a custom record, a TXT record with the name underscore DMARC, and then the value, and then click confirm, and that's DMARC added to your DNS. To ensure your reply addresses on all your emails have the same root domain, you just need to make sure that the campaigns you're sending, this one for example, has sunloconsulting.com as your sender email address, just to make sure it's the same as the dedicated sending domain you set up, so it can't be get Sunlo Consulting, for example. Just need to make sure they're all sunloconsulting.com, and then the same in your flows. If you just go into one of the flows, into the emails, the sender email address just needs to be at sunloconsulting.com. Can't be anything else, just to comply with best practices. That's everything.
Perfect. So we now understand deliverability. All the technicality wise has been set up for authenticating your domains. Your integrations have now been set up, which Alex went through earlier. And of course, we've got the real on-site tracking as well. So everything is set up. We are good to go. Now, how do we actually know what we're doing on the platform? What I'm going to do is link a video tutorial here so you can just quickly come back and know exactly how to navigate this platform. Let's get straight into this. We are currently on the home dashboard. The main thing you need to know here is you want to have this on placed order. Of course, this platform that these guys are actually integrated with is WooCommerce, so we are using the conversion metric for, of course, WooCommerce placed order, right? Time period. So last 30 days, you can assess the last 30 days, you can do the last 7 days, or if you want to change a custom date, you just put it on custom, and of course, you flick around with these with the before and afters. Just going to leave it as the last 30 days to begin with. Of course, total store revenue being pulled in from their website or from their Shopify store, whatever it may be. Then, of course, the attributed revenue from that. So how much is actually coming in from email. So nice and juicy. We got 50% coming in for this client. Overall attributed revenue metrics to look at. Per recipient, we're getting around $2.69 per recipient. Campaigns are making up $256,000, which is 57% coming from campaigns, 42% coming from flows. That's 187K here, okay? Don't really know why they say email over here because I can just look it up here, but hey ho, that's just the dashboard. Of course, you can see your top performing flows as well, all established here, and your most recent campaigns. If you do want to take a further look into your most recent campaigns, you just come up here, click campaigns, and you can actually see, last 30 days of campaigns. Of course, campaign name, you can quickly skim over it if you hover over the hyperlinks here, and you can see, subject line, preview text, sender name, etc. And of course, if you actually did want to preview your email, just click that button there. Other than this, the only thing to sort of look at is the open rate and click rate and revenue coming in from these emails. Now, just a bit of context, open rate is essentially the percentage of people that you've sent the email out to and they've actually gone ahead and opened the email. So, for example, if we sent out to 10,000 people and 4,000 people have opened that email, well, you've now got a 40% open rate. Click rate is the percentage of people who have actually clicked onto that email. So they've opened the email up, then they've clicked one of the call to action buttons on that email. So that 2% is obviously just 2% of those 8,000 recipients who've actually gone ahead and opened that email. Then, of course, placed order, pretty self-explanatory. This is the amount of email revenue that's come from that email campaign. That's it. That's in a nutshell. Don't overcomplicate it. That's campaigns. Flows, of course, the only thing I would suggest here is if you haven't got all of your flows live, you've got some in manual, some in draft, you just want to make sure you click on live to see what your live flows are. Again, if you want to go deeper into the flow, you just click on here. I'm not going to go through this more thoroughly now. We're going to go through this later so you can understand this, but that's how you get onto your flows. Again, last updated, self-explanatory, amount of revenue that's come in through this flow and also the revenue per recipient. If you do want to change the time frame to sort of assess this data, you can do that here. So we're currently just looking at the last 30 days for all of these flows that we've set up for this account. Sign up forms, again, we're going to go through this more thoroughly, but this is essentially how you access your pop-up forms. So we've got one for web, one for mobile. You always want to make sure you're having one for each. Again, you can see how many people are actually signing up to the pop-up form, how many have submitted, and of course the total revenue from that, okay? We're just sort of looking at the metrics at the moment. I just want you to understand how to navigate this platform. Audiences, so again, all your profiles in your email list will be here, and you can see how many are suppressed. Essentially, are profiles that are unable to receive email marketing messages, okay? So they're basically dead weight, but I won't worry about that. We're just gonna leave that here, okay? You can create segments in here. I'm gonna go through that more thoroughly later, especially with listen segments as well. And of course, you can see how many people we've got inside our different segments here as well. Not really too much to go through. It's just literally accessing different data for different lists. So you can just sort of see who's in this list. Other than that, growth tools. Again, with growth tools, I wouldn't really come in here too much. I barely use it. Of course, this is just to go back to the pop-up form page we was on a minute ago, the sign up form page. Yeah, we're just going to leave this for now. I don't need to overcomplicate things. Let's go through to content. So when it comes to actually sending out campaigns and emails, emails. There are, of course, templated emails. Do not do this. Don't make the rookie mistake of using Klaviyo templates. You can actually go ahead and import all your emails into the Save Template section. I'm going to go through this a bit later when we go through campaigns, but this is just sort of how you access it. Products, again, pretty self-explanatory. All your products that you want to import as like a DPA, if you want to have a DPA or a static product, can go into here. Images and branding, again, not going to look at this too much because we're going to import this later manually through the campaigns. Coupons, again, I wouldn't even worry about this, okay? Most importantly, dashboards. So let's go through reporting. Overview dashboard. So in here, again, it's just a bit more advanced technicality in terms of assessing data, campaign performance, and so forth. I don't really use this too heavily. The main one you want to use is, of course, the home dashboard. The only other thing as well I do use is deliverability. So you do want to check your deliverability score here. Remember, I was talking about the engine lights coming on. The main things you want to check for is, of course, if anything's sort of red standing out here for your unsubscribe rate, spam rate, and your bounce rates. If any of these three metrics here are low, you just want to go ahead and basically use a more engaged audience. So drop it down to like 30-day engaged, or begin with the 30-day engaged, okay? Other than that, that is literally it. There's not too much you want to go through here. Don't want to overcomplicate things. Everything else is patterned for you. That's exactly how to navigate Klaviyo. And of course, just recite this Loom video if ever you need to come back to this. Perfect. So now all I want to talk about is the 5 levers of email marketing that we need to know and understand. So there's literally 5 levers. This is it. Do not overcomplicate it. There's nothing else to it. Pop-up forms. This is literally how you grow your email list. Campaigns. These are manual email campaigns that we send out to your list. Flows. These are automated emails that are triggered when a customer does a specific action, whether it's signing up to your newsletter or an action that they've taken on your website. Segmentation. This is literally just different subsections of your email list. So you can just set up different segments of customers based on behavior or, demographic in your email list. Okay. Deliverability. This is simply put just ensuring that all your emails are actually landing in the inbox and not in the spam folder. That is it. That is all you need to know. Of course, I'm going to dive into this a lot deeper, so bear with me. And of course, we can go through this together. Okay. So let's begin. Pop-up forms. A pop-up form is essentially a form that when you go on somebody's website and you see something like this where it says, get X off or get X% off or get $100 off. Prime example, what we've done for one of our clients here. They put in their name, they put in their email, and of course, they sign up to your newsletter. That's how we actually get people in. So this example here that I've done, this is what it looked like on mobile, the mobile pop-up, and this is, of course, the desktop variation. Please always make sure that you do one for each. So make sure you adapt it for each platform, whether they're on desktop or mobile. Best practices for pop-up forms. So what you should be split testing, timing, and of course, triggers. So triggers being stuff like exit intent. If a customer almost goes to leave the website just before they X out, annoyingly, sometimes a pop-up happens. Again, I would always split test that. Scroll percentage. So when you're on your website, you start scrolling down. If they scroll down to like a quarter of the way down or halfway down the page, that's when the pop-up comes up. Time delay pop-up. So where you actually set a set amount of time in which, of course, once they've landed on the website, you give them 5 to 10 seconds. That's when the pop-up would appear at that moment, right? So of course, not immediately when they land on the page, because that can be a bit intrusive and annoying. And I would even argue that an exit intent pop-up form can be a bit intrusive and annoying unless it's a really wild, extravagant incentive, such as get $100 off. Clear and compelling offer. So literally straight to the point, get $100 off. Make sure the offer is as bold and boldacious as possible. And again, if there is anything else that's really like an important bit of information, like case studies, especially before and afters, then you want to have that shown on, of course, your pop-up form, right? I'd also go ahead and have some form of social proof. Fine, simple design and user experience. So again, just negate towards whether they're on desktop or mobile. Please just keep it really, really simple. Don't have loads of flamboyant colors. It's not going to become some rainbow pop-up, start sparkling and blowing up some puff clouds. Just keep it really, really simple and easy to read. Of course, just make sure the offer stands out like a sore thumb, along with a call to action button. Mobile responsive, I've gone through this. I should have drilled this into you by now. And of course, last but not least, compliance with regulations, such as GDPR. That's a given, right? Honestly, you want to see at least 5% of people signing up to your pop-up form as a bare minimum. But I've had clients where, again, this client here, this exact pop-up you're seeing here, this is the result that we saw from that pop-up. Around a 19% submit rate, which is absolutely absurd. The highest one I've had to date. That's my PB. Just be as aggressive as possible with your sign-up form, but with your offer. And of course, you're going to reap the rewards later. The importance of a pop-up. So not only is a pop-up crucial for capturing customer data and building your list so that you can make more money long term, but it is also a quick release lever to put a lot of cash in fast. So let me break this down for you with the figures. Let's say you've got 10,000 visitors a month and an average order value of $45. Welcome flow revenue is, of course, assuming 10% is, of course, conversions. Let's say you've got a 2% pop-up form, right? And that is currently getting you $5,000 a month because, of course, they open the pop-up form, they go into the welcome series, and that's now automatically getting you $5,000 per month. If you increase that by, 6 times, so from 2 to 12%, or even if this was 6%, you'd see massive uplift. So like you're going to multiply this by 6 because your welcome series is currently getting $5,000 a month with a 2% pop-up form. Now you've got a 12% pop-up form, so that's going to be multiplied by 6 because that's been multiplied by 6. Are you with me? So you're now getting 30,000 coming in just from that pop-up form sign-up percentage increased, right? So pop-up forms are really important, okay? And people don't just buy straight away from your website. You know, you need to build relationships and have a happy medium in order to continue selling and building up that retention later. I'm going to go into my full flow structure later, my entire process. You're going to have my advanced flow structure, and I'm going to go through all of this incrementally. It's all going to make sense, so just bear with me, okay? All I want you to understand is just how important a pop-up form is. If you can just double or triple your pop-up form, you double and triple the amount of revenue coming in from your welcome series. That's all you really need to know about the pop-up form and why it's important. On to the next section, segmentation.
Hi, I'm going to show you how to set up a 30-day engaged segment within Klaviyo. If you head to List and Segments, create new, create segment, name 30-day engaged, select condition, what someone has or has not done, clicked email at least once in the last 30 days. Add another condition here, what someone has or has not done, opened email at least once in the last 30 days. And our final condition here, make sure you select and, select condition, if someone can or cannot receive marketing, can receive email marketing. And that's you. Just create the segment here. I'm going to take you through how to set up a 180-day unengaged segment within Klaviyo. If you head to List and Segments here, create new, create segment, name this 180-day unengaged, select a condition, what someone has or has not done, clicked email 0 times in the last 180 days. Add another condition here. Make sure to change this over to and, what someone has or has not done. Opened email 0 times in the last 180 days. And our final condition here, make sure to select and again, if someone can or cannot receive marketing, can receive email marketing, and then create segment. Hi, I'm going to show you how to set up a non-buyer segment in Klaviyo. If you head to List and Segments, create new, create segment, name this non-buyers, select the condition, what someone has or has not done, place order 0 times over all time. Add condition, change this to and, if someone can or cannot receive marketing, can receive email marketing, create segment. I'm going to show you how to set up a one-time purchaser segment in Klaviyo. If you head to List and Segments, create new, create segment, we'll name this one-time purchasers, select the condition, what someone has or has not done, placed order equals 1 over all time. Add a condition here, and if someone can or cannot receive marketing, and then create segment.
Sweet. So thank you, Michaela, for showing us how to actually go ahead and set up these different segments. All I want to do now is just go through email campaigns. So what is an email campaign? How does it differentiate from workflows and flows, etc.? Email campaigns, essentially, they're just single targeted messages that you send to either your entire list or a specific segment that we've just basically set up, right? Now, they're delivered to use different content to your customers for a variety of different reasons. So, for example, you might send a flash sale announcement to customers or a newsletter to keep your audience informed about new product launches, trends, or company updates. This isn't something we would want to set up in an automated flow, okay? Because you don't want an automated flow for a flash sale because it's a flash sale. It's only for a set time and a set period, okay? So that's essentially why we send out campaigns and how they're different from flows. Why they're important is because sending out regular campaigns helps, of course, stay in front of your customers and keep your brand top of mind. Now, why this matters is because it is consistent with communication, and ideally you want to send out 2 to 3 campaigns per week just to maintain your presence and, of course, just add value to your customer and build up that customer relationship. Of course, it's really good for information sharing, so campaigns are a great way to educate your customer. You don't always want to go ahead and just send out discounted emails and, of course, just talking about products. In fact, I would actually advise doing a ratio of 4 or 5 to 1. So that being 4/5 emails that are high value based campaigns, giving out maybe best known tips in that niche. So educating your customers on how they can help get better skin with skincare routines if you sell skincare products. So the actual routine doesn't have to necessarily include your product. It's just an example, right? And of course, that's just going to help them have that trust and know that you actually care about that customer and why they should come to you versus somebody who's like, buy my shit, right? Information sharing, of course, education and value. I've just discussed that as well. So it just helps even like handling objections. So just breaking down common industry myths, giving them the information that they need to make that buying decision. That's another reason why we send out campaigns. And of course, just capitalizing on the attention economy, right? So talking about why e-commerce, coming back to my point earlier, why e-commerce is getting really, really competitive. The more frequent you appear in your customers' inboxes and add that valuable content, the more likely you are to hold that mental real estate in their minds, which means, of course, when they need your product, like when it comes to the time they're going to buy your product, you're the first brand they think of, okay? So how do we actually execute effective email marketing campaigns? So I'm going to go ahead and just go straight into Klaviyo now, break down everything that you need to execute a effective email marketing campaign. Now, this is just going to be based on sending. We're going to go into design a little bit later. I'm going to go through the do's and don'ts of your emails with actual examples. Bear with me. So let's actually go ahead and go through how to set up an email campaign. Now, for this example, what I'm going to do is show you an email design that we've done for Molly May. This is, of course, a mixture of images and text. So what I want you to understand, just coming back to my point earlier about deliverability, we can't just go ahead, click on the email, select the entire thing, export it as an image. Doesn't work like that. That's just going to get you ending up in spam, and also it just doesn't really make sense because you need, if you've got different call to actions, which again you shouldn't really do, but for example in the footer you might have this as like an Instagram follow us call to action, and then this one takes you to the product page or collections page. You can't hyperlink to things in one image, right? What you want to do is obviously open up your email on Figma. Again, if you don't know what this is, Figma is literally the best design tool for emails. It's the only one you should be using, especially if you're working with different people within your company, because everyone can hop on here. You can all collaborate together, leave notes, leave comments, and you can access this anywhere in the world. I don't need this to be saved internally on my computer like I would on Photoshop, for example, right? Can do it on Canva if you're complete rookie, beginner, don't know how to actually edit and design stuff. Again, you can do it on Canva, but I would highly recommend learning how to use Figma. This is not going to be a Figma tutorial, so again, go and learn Figma if you don't know how to use it, but this is what we're going to be using to show you how to actually import this into Klaviyo. So now we've got that established. Of course, I've designed my email, it's all ready to go. How do I actually get it into Klaviyo and send it out for my first campaign? Again, just another client account now. We're going to use this as our dummy account. I'm just going to go ahead and show you what you need to do. So don't go ahead and click campaigns. We're not going to do that yet. First of all, we need to import it as an actual template. So we're going to go down to the content tab here, open up the content tab and click on templates. Now, when you're in here, what you're going to do is just go on save templates. It's automatically pushed me into there, but if you do appear to be on this page, please, for the life of God, do not go ahead and start using these templates from Klaviyo. They're absolutely whack and they're not going to be tailored for your brand. Instead, what we're going to do is create a blank email template, and when this loads up, we're literally going to go ahead and delete all of the content on here. We do not want any of this stuff, so you're just going to go ahead, start deleting all of this, and of course, goodbye. Now, what we want to do is just go back to our email that we've designed and just basically assess this email, right? So one thing you need to know, coming back to that sort of thing that I was mentioning earlier regarding you can't just have one big image, you also can't just export this entire thing as a mixture of images. Now, in order to improve your deliverability, you want to have a mixture of both text blocks and also images, and also call to actions if you want to add them in as well, like so, right? What you want to do is simply just come onto the email. I'm going to press the S button, which basically enables the slice tool, and we're just going to slice our first image. So how do I know what my first image is going to be and where does it end? It's pretty simple, right? Drag it over the top and we bring it down to our first text block. So this is, of course, our text block here. I'm not going to export this as an image, but we're going to export this top bit as an image. And all you need to do is just come over, click export, and you'll see there'll be like a little preview tab here. Just drop that down. Just make sure we are exporting the exact segment that we want. Of course, export that as an image and then come back. And what we're going to do is just add an image block from our section over here, and we're going to go ahead and just drag that into the image uploader here, and you'll see started to add in the section for that image. Now what you want to do is click on the text for the text block. I'm just going to select all of this text and copy it, and you'll see as well, just quickly before we come off this page, the text that we're using is man rope, and there's also a mixture of different font sizes because this is bold and then this is light, but the main thing to look at here is obviously man rope, and then it's 23 in size. Now when I come over here, just going to add a text block. and I'm just going to double click on here and paste, right? Just paste text. Now what we're going to do is just separate it evenly, just like how we done on here. So we've got 3 paragraphs, and I'm going to go ahead and just copy the color code. So color code light brown, that's this one here. So that's the light brown color. And in order to get that hex code, I'm just simply going to go and, oh, this stuff is getting in the way, innit? Copy this code here, if it's going to let me, custom, and of course it's that code there, that hex code there, and I'm just going to go ahead and for now I'm just going to make all of it the same color. So I've selected all of that text color, paste that in here, and it's now brown, right? Now just to quickly make things easier, let's actually make this man rope because that is the font that we've used. And of course if you don't have the font, we can quickly go ahead and add that in. For this tutorial, I'm not going to add this in. This is not a full tutorial. You simply just want to go ahead and use Google Fonts or Adobe Fonts. For now, it might even let me actually add it in through Google. There we go. Select font. To Homer, add font. Cool. That's how you change the font. I'm not going to do this all here, but of course we want to make sure this is 23 in size, and also we're going to go ahead and just make sure that's centralized as well. And you can see we're starting to get there, right? We're starting to build it out. So that was the brown one, that luxury tanning collection here. So we're just going to make this bold. Quickly select that, bold. And then of course, for the rest of it, what you would do is just select that. And then you would change the color to the gray color we've got here, which is this one over here. And you can see how I start to build this out, right? I just make sure to match everything up with what we've got on Figma. So it all looks the exact same, right? And I can just select that there. Cool. What you'll start to notice as well, that image has got a yellow background. This has got a plain white background. So what I need to do is just quickly click on the entire email and just double check what the fill background has been here. So we're just going to select that color and quickly click on the text block, and I'm literally just going to update the background color to exactly match that image here so it seamlessly blends together. Now for this section here, of course there's no text blocks. The next text block's down here, so what I'm going to do is just come back and press the S for selecting the slice tool, which brings up this little crosshair, and we're just simply going to bring it down to the text block like so, and also make sure we get that little section in there as well, like that. Click export. Yep, that all looks exactly how we want it to. Export that slice. Now of course I'm going to go back, add another image, and we're literally just going to go and drag and drop that back in and build it out. So you can see how this works, essentially just blocking out different images and text blocks. I don't think there's too much else to go through on this. That is pretty much it. There's nothing else to it. I'll quickly just do a speed time lapse of this now. I'm not going to bother talking. I'm just going to build this out to show you how this has been done, and then we're going to save that template. Just quickly as well, just to show you a little bit of a life hack. If you've got another text block, you can literally just duplicate that and then just paste the text. Oh, and then paste the text. Make sure it's the exact same as well. That's the light grey one as well. Yep. And again, just for ease of use, I'm just going to go ahead and do the rest of this. Export that like so. And then finally, we're just going to grab this down here as well, because the only reason I'm exporting this as a different sort of CTA like so is because of the Instagram that we're also going to hyperlink to send people to the Instagram page. So that is the email completely built out, as you can see here. Before we go ahead and start to say, you know, job finished, let's go, just double check it on mobile as well. So what I'm going to do now is just make sure to duplicate these text boxes, duplicate the text boxes, and one is going to be for desktop only and the other one is going to be displayed on mobile. So rather than having it ticked as all devices, the top one we're just going to put desktop only, top one desktop only, bottom one mobile, and again bottom one mobile. Okay, now just before we go back to the mobile variation to show you why I've done that, what we want to do is hyperlink all these images and label them as well. So top one, hero image, and then also midsection. What you can do is actually go ahead and for all of the images, just give them the same hyperlink to the shop. So for example, I know it says shop now on the call to action button, but let's just say they scroll the way to the bottom and there's no call to action. They can literally just click anywhere. So it does really help just get the click rate going through to the next page. What you want to do is obviously grab your link. It's called Filter by Molly May. Obviously, let's just say for this example, we're taking them to this page. You copy that link and you literally just link the address here, and the same, link the address and link the address. Now done, literally good to go. Obviously with the mobile variation, you just want to make sure the text looks exactly sort of how it does on here. So it can be a bit fiddly, but you can just play around with it. So this one, again, you can see it's clearly far too big. I'd probably do that as like 18 maybe. That's way better already. And again, let's do the top one, 18, right? Oh, not 318, 18. Literally exactly what it does on the packet. Perfect. That's now good to go. The only final bit that we need to do is obviously link it to the Instagram page. So that image at the bottom, obviously I exported it for that purpose to just solely take them to the Instagram page. Let's do just Molly May for this example. And of course, you're just going to direct them to, there we go, filter by Molly May. So that's where you would take them, and then just call that IG. Right, that is literally it. That is good to go. Now, what you want to do, of course, just do a quick preview and test and make sure that this is, of course, exactly how it is supposed to be on desktop and also mobile. Again, absolutely perfect, good to go. Now, what you want to do as well before you actually go ahead and send this out to your email list is send the test to your email. So, for example, I'm now going to send it to my Gmail, tom@sunloconsulting.com. I can't see my screen, it's so far away. Right, we're going to send that now. Quickly open up my Gmail. Klaviyo preview, look, it's just came through, and that is it. Email is all good to go, smooth as butter, and of course, that is pretty much how you create the template. So now what we're going to do is click done, okay? And as soon as I exit as well, it is going to, of course, save it. You just want to call this the name of the campaign. So, for example, Dreaming of Sun-Kissed Glow, let's just call this Tan Essentials TMP campaign, and then you also want to put the date. So let's just say it's going out on the 18th. That's it. Tan Essentials camp for the 18th. Exit. That's now saved here. I'm going to show you exactly how we can go ahead and, of course, send this out to your list now. Perfect. So we've got the campaign ready to go. It's saved as a template now. Now we can come over to the campaign section and literally click create campaign. Of course, we want to send out an email, so just make sure that is linked. Email campaign name, of course, what you want to do is go ahead and do the campaign that we're doing. So Tan Essentials campaign 18th. Make sure, of course, you do it on the 18th. Continue. That's it. Tags, honestly, if you want to start tagging campaigns, so just call this like Tan for the tags so that you know all your campaigns for those tags. You can go ahead and organize it there. Recipients, of course, you want to send it to your engaged list. Whatever list we're going to be sending it to depends on the deliverability of your audience and also the segmentation. So let's just say you've got a huge list full of people. So, for example, for Molly May, she might have people who are just interested in tanning oils, or she might have people who are just interested in makeup, right? So you can send it to different audiences based on their intent, or to be honest with you, the best thing that I would suggest doing is just going ahead and doing it based on their engaged, so how engaged they are. For this example, we're just going to do 90-day engaged. Now, one thing you want to do as well is make sure you exclude certain audiences. The most common ones, to be completely honest with you, are of course people who have unsubscribed, spam and bounce as well, and then also spam as a general one. Other than that, maybe even like fake profiles you'd want to do as well. And if there's just anything else that you do not want to, of course, segment, that's exactly how you'd exclude it. Now, I would go ahead and turn off skip recently emailed profiles if it's a campaign, because they might have received a flow, for example, but you still want them to receive this because it's a flash sale or whatever it might be. Include tracking parameters. Yes, I would always have that turned on. Now, what we're going to do is continue to content, and literally this is where you put your subject line. I'm just going to use any old subject line and, of course, preview line. Sender name, so that's who you're being sending it from. So for this, it would be, for example, it'd be Molly May. Of course, I know I'm in my dummy account right now. We're not actually going to send this, but for example, as well, your sender email, you want it to be the same sending email every time. So for example, hello@Molly, same email every time. Now, what we actually want to go ahead and do is create your email with the template that you've got. So come over to drag and dropper and click on your save templates, and you'll see the exact template we just made is right here. Again, quick proofread before sending it out, double check it, all still there. Use this template, and of course we're good to go. Again, preview and test if you want to. Go make sure everything's all set up here correctly, but we've already done this before, so I'm not going to bother doing this right now. That's done with the content. Now, what you want to go ahead and do is continue to review and just double check all of this is enabled and done correctly. Smart sending is disabled for this campaign, so you can edit this if you want it on and off. So again, all smart sending is just making sure they don't receive 2 or more emails within a 16-hour window. I usually have this off when I'm sending out campaigns, just because sometimes when a campaign's like a sale-based one, it really does depend. When it's a sale-based one, you definitely want it turned off so that of course they receive the sale alongside whatever flow they're currently in. It's entirely up to you. You'll come to gist with it as you start to keep playing along with campaigns versus having your flows being all set up. Unsubscribe link, I don't think I actually added that into this email, which was my mistake, but if we go ahead and quickly edit this and of course click edit email, cool. So all you want to do if you've actually forgot to add the unsubscribe link, so this is actually probably a good lesson for you, is you're just going to come over to the blocks on the left, scroll to the very bottom and drag it until you see the text block appear. I love it when this happens. So just got kicked out of Klaviyo. We're back now. Essentially what you want to do is double click on that text block once it's appeared at the bottom, if it doesn't lag out. Click personalization at the top and you're just going to search for unsubscribe. Literally just click on this unsubscribe button here, and what I would do is just say 2 speech marks, I believe that's speech marks, and all you're going to put is your unsubscribe text. So unsubscribe from receiving emails, whatever you want really, you can put in this little text box here. And again, we're just going to exit because that's now saved and we're good to go. So if we go to continue to review, you'll see it should say that the unsubscribe link has been added now, which it has. Of course, that's everything. The only thing that of course you want to do is make sure that this is a green tick. Of course, it's going to be tailored towards your brand. I'm on a dummy account at the moment, which is why it says all recipients will be sent to hello@Molly-Mae. Of course, that sender is not aligned with the brand sending domain because we're on a dummy account. But that's pretty much it. Now you want to do is like click schedule or send. You can either schedule it by doing the following or send it automatically now. With this, of course, pretty straightforward. You can do it as a fixed time or smart sending. I always suggest doing fixed time. You want to do the date. So we said we'd send this out on the 18th. Let's just say we want to send it out like 11:30 a.m. And then of course, make sure it's in the right time zone for your audience. That is literally it. Once that's been scheduled, you'll see the email campaign in your campaigns over here and it will say scheduled. Okay. And you'll see the exact time and date it's all scheduled for. That is pretty much it for this tutorial. Perfect. So brilliant. You don't know how to design, but you know how to import your design into Klaviyo. You also know how to send out your very first campaign and make sure that you're sending it to the correct audience. The only thing we need to go through now is the do's and don'ts of email campaigns. So literally 8 things you need to make sure you do is of course personalize your emails, use your subscribers' names, and of course tailor the content based on their past interactions with your brand. Do provide value. Always offer something of value, whether it's useful information, a discount, or an exclusive access to specific content. Make sure you optimize for mobile, which is why of course I showed you earlier to double check for desktop and mobile. Segment your list. Of course, make sure that you're sending targeted emails to different segments of your audience based on their behavior, preference, and of course demographics. Again, it's going to vary from niche to niche. Include a clear call to action. So to add to this as well, I'd say make sure you have one call to action. You don't want a campaign with more than one call to action. It creates decision fatigue, and then of course all your messaging and copy for your email is going to be tailored towards different call to actions. Doesn't get the best response. A/B testing, of course, test different aspects of your emails to see what works best for you and refine your approach based on the data. So split testing different call to action buttons. Instead of having a shop now button, let's say you're solving a problem like acne, you have that call to action more emotive and say get clear skin today, right? Something like that can literally change the amount of clicks that you get on your email drastically. Monitor your metrics, of course, just see where the drop off is. If there's a low open rate, it's usually because of your subject line is weak. If the click through rate is low, it's because the call to action is unclear, or you've got too many call to actions, or the email is just not resonating or compelling with emotive language. Other than that, of course, just make sure you comply with the GDPR compliances and of course any other legal requirements. I think that is pretty much a given. And also make sure that you include a unsubscribe button, which I showed you how to add if you've forgotten to do that, because you would want to make sure that you are of course being compliant. Do not overwhelm people with too much text. Literally blocky paragraph emails, it doesn't work. Literally the most minimalistic amount of copy you can have, and make sure it's easy to digest. Make sure it's visually digestible, you know? Dreaming of a sun-kissed glow? Hey, fed up with patchy uneven tan? Well, our fabulous luxury tan collection is here, and it's all about giving you that flawless, even streak-free tan. A few benefits / USPs, and then of course, clear call to action. You know, get the beautifully bronzed, radiant skin that you deserve. That is it. You don't want to go into too much detail. Literally make sure it's visually digestible and easy to read. Of course, don't send without testing. I showed you how to do that, how to send yourself an actual email through to your Gmail before you send it out. Don't neglect the subject line. Of course, the subject line is literally the most important thing because it is going to get people to actually open that email in the first place. Anything generic or too long that's going to get clipped, scrap that. Sweet, short, and straight to the point. Try and create that curiosity. Curiosity, of course, is what's going to get their attention. Don't spam your subscribers, so avoid sending too many emails in a short period of time. 2 to 3 emails per week is usually the best to start with. I'd say Wednesdays and Friday are the best day periodically for us. Test it, split test it, maybe Tuesday, Thursday. Just make sure that you're doing 2 per week and obviously not back to back every single day, otherwise you're going to burn out that list. Of course, comes without saying, don't forget to proofread. Anything that you can do to proofread, there's Grammarly now, another member of your team. Just make sure that you're getting people to proofread it. Even use ChatGPT, right? Don't use too many images. Of course, you can use a mixture of images and text, but don't just do picture after picture after picture. And last, of course, but not least, don't ignore unsubscribes. If people are unsubscribing at a high rate, don't ignore it. Look at your content frequency, relevancy, and also just make adjustments to reduce churn. So coming back to the metrics on here, on the deliverability, just make sure that the unsubscribe rate, which is what we're talking about here, is not sticking out like a sore thumb. If it's red, that's bad. That means you need to sort of assess, are we making such stuff that's actually valuable? People resonating with our emails? Are they enjoying that content? If they're unsubscribing, then you're doing something wrong, okay? At the end of the day, bottom line, the ultimate goal of your email campaigns is to keep your brand top of mind, drive engagement, and foster customer loyalty. Be consistent, thoughtful with your campaigns. You not only build a habit in your audience, but also a position in your brand as a go-to resource in your niche. Do not flood subscribers with sales pitches. It's not a sales channel. It's an educational, value-based channel to build community, customer retention, and of course, that's when you get people to buy. 4:1/5:1 ratio in terms of adding value and educating, then have like a 1 sales campaign, okay? Of course, how do we get inspiration? I showed you the design that we've done for Molly May. How have we actually gone ahead and done this? I've actually done a full video on how you can go ahead, get inspiration from other brands, and build out design templates from industry leading brands. There is actually a way to do this. Just going to open up 2 platforms here quickly now. One being Milled. So Milled is amazing. You can go ahead and search a bunch of different brands' emails. It's basically the Facebook ads library for, of course, email marketing. So on here, I can literally go ahead and type in my vitamins, for example. This is just a brand that I was looking at recently. Am I human? Yes, verify that. What's going to happen is it's going to pull up all the emails that they've been sending out. Really good tool. Of course, I think it's over the past, week. So you can actually, of course, do it over the past month, for example, and it will pour in more emails. That's one platform. Another email platform is Really Good Emails. Again, you can just go through here, look for stuff that's related to your niche. You can do keyword search here. Again, just find an email that you like the look of. Let's just do this one, for example. Pull it up. You can actually go ahead, save this as an image like that. What you can then go ahead and do is copy this, open up a page on Figma like so, paste this, and you can then go ahead and just build out another email right next to it like this, and you can create a template just like this. I've actually done this before. I've got a full video showing you how to do this. What I'm going to do is link it underneath this section here, this square section here with one of our email design campaigns. Let me just get rid of this quickly. I'm going to add it here. Okay, I'm going to put a little link. So this is literally what I've done before. We've gone ahead, seen an email from a brand we've liked. We've then gone ahead and literally just made a wireframe for this as well. So it's very simple to do. I'll actually attach the video and link to this doc. You can have this free of charge from me. Really, really easy way of doing it. Okay, so don't just get stuck with email inspiration. So I don't know what to do. Just find something you like, copy it and recreate it. Change the branding, change the copy, and of course, put your images inside of there. I'm going to add them 2 links just here. So, of course, we've just gone through the do's and don'ts of campaigns. I've just actually gone ahead, hyperlinked how to go ahead, get inspiration from other brands and basically create wireframes for, of course, your email designs. So if you ever get stuck, just go back to this video here. And of course, here's the free mock-up that I've actually gone ahead and integrated with the course. Now, don't know why I've put this here. This is a campaign that we've done for one of our brands. I just think it looks cool, so I just put it here. What you want to do as well is just get inspiration from the campaign ideas list that we've got here, because again, just coming back to my point earlier, you don't always want to sell. You want to provide value and of course, just educate your customers and make sure that you're handling any objections they might have. So for example, you might have a breaking industry myths email or even like an FAQ email, right? Customers are lazy. Sometimes they don't actually want to go sit there and go through the FAQs list. So you go ahead and put it into an email. Also, little freebie to add to that, here are some campaign examples that you can go ahead and just view. These are some that we've done for our clients, just going through again product launches or product focused emails, stuff that we've done for brands regarding like value based ones, more educational. So for example, the real reason behind hangovers, learn more, right? Educational emails, holiday emails. So this was one we done for Memorial Day, right? Case studies as well, so different testimonial based emails. It's all here. Just go have a look, get some inspo, and of course do your own spin on this stuff. That's campaign sorted. Now we're going to go into sort of flows now. So how does a flow differentiate from an email campaign? So of course, an email campaign you send out manually. Maybe you do it when you have like a flash sale going on, or just an update regarding your brand. Something that's not an ongoing thing that you want to have reoccurring, right? A flow is essentially a series of automated emails which are triggered by a specific action that person has took on your website, for example, or signing up to your newsletter. So unlike a campaign, obviously, where it's sent manually to your list or segments, flows are automatically triggered and tailored to each person based on their behavior. So I'm going to go through this in more depth in a minute and show you how this would work from the customer funnel. But all you need to know is that these are automated emails rather than manually sent out emails. Okay. Again, why they matter? Of course, it's tailored communication for different stages in the customer journey. So if somebody's just discovered your brand, they've not gone and viewed a product yet, you're not going to go ahead and give them a huge discount. You're going to give them more of an insight as to company USPs, what you stand for, and how they can actually benefit from your brand or service. That's why we tailor it based on different segments inside inside that customer journey. Again, if you're losing me here, it's going to make a lot more sense in a minute. It's continuous revenue generation and customer nurturing. So I've got an example here. This is just a screenshot inside one of our client accounts. You can see over the past 3 months, they've done around 4 million in total revenue, 45% coming from email campaigns, done around 523k, which is 30% of this total revenue here. And the other 70% is coming from flow. So this is just money pouring in on autopilot. Then of course SMS, but we're not going to talk about that right now. So let's just go through essentially how you can implement an effective email flow. First of all, you need to understand your customer journey. So are they a new customer? What information do they need about said product, said service before making a decision to actually purchase and trust you guys? Are they a returning customer? Do we need to actually upsell them and cross-sell them? This is how we sort of address and tailor our flows based on these different stages of that customer journey. And I'm going to give you my full flow strategy as well, so keep listening. It's going to make sense in a minute. But first of all, let's just get through this, okay? So leveraging different triggers as well. This is, of course, how you're going to implement effective flows. So using different triggers, such as the add to cart metric, for example, or once somebody's gone ahead and signed up to your newsletter, then you put them into a flow where it welcomes them to the brand. And then, of course, just customizing content for each flow. So, for example, welcome flow. This is going to be for new subscribers who, that maybe it's their first point of contact with your brand. We're going to introduce them to your brand. Thank you for signing up to our newsletter. Here's what you need to know about, of course, what we offer and how you can benefit from this. Abandoned cart flows. If somebody has left an item in the cart and they was, maybe they was about to purchase a product or so, but then life got in the way, what we can do is show them other case studies or testimonials from people in your store who've used your product, and of course encourage them with that low-hanging fruit incentive. Maybe it's an extra 5% off just to trickle them over the edge. Post-purchase flows, again, we're trying to thank the customer for their purchase and of course suggest other products that would work synergistically with the product that they've just bought. And another little juicy cherry on top as well, we're going to show you how to automate these reviews that you're getting for people who've purchased from you. And I'm going to show you how we can do this in a minute. So these are crucial for all types of behaviors, and we want to set up triggers for capturing the most amount of money as possible, right? Flows is where the juicy stuff happens and it's automated. So other than that, of course, just avoid templatized flows. Please do not use a templated flow. Every single brand has a different customer journey, different USPs, different benefits. We want to make sure that we're utilizing your brand's values. What works for a high ticket luxury brand is not necessarily going to work for a low cost brand of just more low ticket based consumables. Okay, so we want to make sure it's tailored for you and your needs. Number 5, of course, make sure you're analyzing and optimizing and split testing your flows. You don't want to go ahead, build out all your flows. You go, wow, job's finished. We're done now. We don't need to do anything. It's automated. That's where people get competent and they actually lose out on potentially tens of thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. So we want to make sure we're split testing and repeating these split tests. We're going to look at the metrics. Are the open rates as where they should be? Is the click-through rate where it should be? How can we improve this and identify these areas to get the most amount of money as possible? And last but not least, why customization matters. So each customer interacts with your brand differently. So it's not going to be a one size fits all. And of course, whether you're a high ticket brand or a low ticket brand, there's 2 core factors in which somebody is going to buy from you. And it always boils down to whether somebody is an emotional buyer or a logical buyer. Now, I would argue that these two work synergistically. You can't necessarily buy something without having some form of emotion tied into that logic. Again, it's going to be tailored towards that customer, that demographic, and their needs. Okay, so we've got to speak their language and obviously understand their intentions. And we can tailor this in between the flows between logical versus emotional buyers. Moving on, so let's actually go into my most advanced proven strategy. This is bulletproof. Whenever I put this into a client's business, I never see a negative connotation to uplift. So let's take a deep dive into my advanced flow strategy, which averages around 40 to 60% in email revenue. Of course, you're going to have to use this synergistically with campaigns, but every time I implement this into a client's business, we see an average of 40 to 60% in email revenue. This is why I say email is 50% of your business. So I'm going to open this up, and again, you can click on this, you can go and view this yourself. This is it. There's nothing left uncovered. I'm going to take you from the very top, the customer funnel, how this works. So a customer, of course, has came from some form of traffic source, whether it's organic, they came from ads, SEO, whatever it is. They visit the website, they view a product, they add it to cart, proceed to checkout, and then make a purchase. So this is obviously the customer journey, and what we want to do is essentially, if somebody leaves at any given stage in this customer funnel, that's when we have the trigger to automate a specific flow. So for example, if somebody views the website or a catalog page but they've not viewed a product yet, we go ahead and set up a site abandonment flow, okay, because they've abandoned the website. If they view a product page, don't view the cart, but they leave on the product page, we then go ahead and set up what we call a browse abandonment flow, because they've browsed the product but they've left. Make sense? Same when they add to cart and same when they proceed to checkout. If they leave at any of these given stages, we set up a flow for abandon cart and abandon checkout. Lastly, once they've actually made a purchase, we actually want to go ahead and send a post-purchase flow, also known as a customer thank you. And this is just for further cross-sells, upsells, and just generating automated reviews as well. Going to go through the intricacies of this now, just bear with me. And then finally, there's other flows that we can do to nurture them further. On the micro perspective of this, so the pre-purchase flows, that being welcome series, your site abandonment, browse abandonment, abandon cart, abandon checkout, these are all pre-purchase. Your welcome series, once somebody signs up to your pop-up form and you've given them the incentive, email number 1, do not mess this up, say short introduction about your brand, thank you for signing up, and of course give them the discount that they've just signed up to your email list for. Email number 2, founder story. Get them connected with your brand emotionally and personally. So this is where we want to give them as much details about why they should be in touch with your brand versus your competitors. Number 3, educating about the product benefits and really do connect with pain points here. So if you've got a really good problem solving product, you want to educate them on why it's beneficial and how it can help them with that problem. Number 4, USP, what makes us different, us versus them, using the law of comparison. Show why we are the better choice over your competitors. What USPs do you have compared to everyone else in the market? Number 5, social proof, reviews, success stories. Again, if there's really good before and afters that you can use with your product, show that. That always performs, okay? Number 6, maybe a deeper educational email, a different angle that we haven't really discussed yet on one of the educational emails we've done earlier, just a different avenue or a different angle that we can talk about. Number 7, bestsellers, just show a variety of your bestsellers. Number 8, value-packed email. So this could be educational based, all breaking down industry myths. So coming back to my campaign types earlier, breaking down industry myths, for example, we done this for a skincare brand. So 5 skincare myths busted, what you need to know. And it wasn't all tailored about their products. It's just genuinely providing value to that audience so they can then trust you and see you as an authoritative figure, an expert in your field, and think, okay, these guys genuinely care, they want to make a difference, it's not just about making money. That's the differentiation as to how you can get more customers to buy without trying to sell. Brilliant. So that's number 8. And then of course, number 9, final reminder about the incentive. Just a final reminder, urgency. You've gone through this entire email sequence. They've signed up to the welcome series. Look, we're not going to send them any more emails. There's 9 here. Okay, so that's just a final reminder to say that incentive is expiring. This is your last chance. If at any given time in this flow, they purchase on email number 4, you want to make sure they don't receive the rest of the flow. That's it. Take it with a pinch of salt. For every single client I bring on, I don't necessarily use this black and white. That is what it is. But you should just understand that each email is constructed in a way where it's either doing social proof, adding value, providing education on the product or your brand, bestsellers. You really just want to give them all these different sort of hurdles they might have, these little objection handled emails, in order to actually get them to convert. So those are the main levers. Site abandonment flow. If a customer has actually gone ahead and viewed a product, they've browsed one of your products on your store, we want to send out a series of emails. So first of all, it might be a case of they haven't viewed a product. So this is a site abandonment flow. They've viewed a homepage or catalog. My bad. If they viewed a homepage or catalog page, but they haven't seen any of your products yet, we just want to say, hey, look, we saw you checking this out. Our goal here is genuinely just try and bring them deeper down that funnel. So what we would do is send out an email where it's like company benefits or like USPs of the company. Here is who we are. Here is what we stand for. Here is how you can get involved and benefit from what we are trying to offer you. Don't want to be too salesy. It's more educational here, right? Because it's still in that brand awareness stage. Number 3 might be more recommended bestsellers, okay? Or a call to action to continue browsing. Next, of course, browse abandonment flow. So if a customer has actually viewed a product, they've not added it to cart yet, we just want to go ahead and basically set up a series of emails just reminding them about that product they viewed. And of course, what you want to do is use a dynamic product block on the email builder where it pulls in the exact product that they was viewing on your store, and they can just go straight back to where they left off. Email number 2, again, maybe mentioning of the USPs of the exact product they viewed, clearly state the benefits of that product, give them a bit more clarity on why this is the choice that they need in their life right now. Number 3, again, offer another incentive or discount because it's low hanging fruit, and if they've not purchased on these first 2, maybe a little 5% off or something, it's actually going to help them out, or just going heavy with social proof, showing case studies of other customers using this product, right? Up to you if you want to offer an incentive or not. You've got 2 choices there. And then number 4, just handle most common objections. So this would be more like an FAQs type of email. Frequently asked questions about the product. And again, coming back to that social proof and that incentive, if you do go down the incentive route, just have high urgency. This is your last chance. It's going to expire, okay? Or if you don't want to do an incentive in terms of like monetary value, the urgency here would be running low on stock. Only X amount left. Sweet. Abandoned cart. So how this would work, customer adds a product to cart, but they don't check out. Cool. Remind them about the product that they left in the cart. Okay, so be really urgent here and be like, we can only hold on to this for you, onto this cart for so long. Your cart's going to expire. Just have some form of urgency here because these guys are low-hanging fruit. They've got high intent, so we want to capture them. Of course, call to action, go back to that cart. Number 2, again, up to you. Offer an incentive, 5% off, 10% off, completely up to you. Or just do a USP of purchasing today. So like, you need to purchase now, and have some urgency in regards to that, and give them a reason why. Just coming back to like that layer of urgency here, where it's like, we can only hold on to your cart for so long. Again, number 3, social proof, reviews, testimonials, show other case studies, other people using the product. Number 4, we want to go hit home with this. High urgency, 24 hours left. Claim the reminder, essentially, or claim your cart before it's too late. Last but not least, the hottest part of the funnel. If somebody has abandoned the checkout, but they haven't purchased yet, remind them about the product in the checkout. Essentially the same as when you've added it to cart. Rather than having like, we can't hold on to your cart, we don't know how long they'll stay in stock. So it's just a different sort of white lie for urgency. And then of course, just take them back to that exact checkout. So with these, take them back to that cart, take them back to that checkout. You don't want to take them back to the product page. Don't make that mistake. You want to take them back to the cart or back to the checkout. Number 2, why our products are trusted. Reduce risk of purchasing. So if you've got any form of like guarantee or satisfaction guarantee, warranties, this is really just handling a lot of their objections. Okay, just giving them like that risk-free purchase. You know, you're going to get that result. We've got proven studies that this is going to get you that result that you're looking for, and potentially even just show some more case studies here as well. Specific reviews about the product, again coming back to that case study section as well. Show before and afters, reviews, other success stories. That's pretty much it really. Increase perceived chance of success with purchase. So once they've made that purchase, they're going to get that result. That's essentially what we mean here. Offer an incentive / introduce some more urgency. I would tie these in synergistically. So add a specific time frame to that incentive or urgency. So running low on stock, only X amount left, or incentive ends at midnight, something like that. Okay, those are all the pre-purchase flows. So this is to get as many people who have come to your website but not purchased yet to make that purchase. These are the pre-purchase flows. Once a customer's actually gone ahead, made that purchase, we want to set up a series of different emails to go ahead and of course squeeze as much juice out of the lemon as possible, right? So customer thank you, email number 1, again, thank the customer, show genuine gratitude, show how grateful you are that they have actually took the leap, trusted you and bought your product. Okay, we really want to try and build up that VIP loyalty to get people to come back again and again. Offer VIP for third-time purchasers. Again, I would probably go down the route of doing a relevant cross-sell here because we do have a VIP flow, which I'm going to come to in a minute, but it's entirely up to you. You can do it in the thank you flow, or again, if you just want to have it in a VIP flow like I would recommend, then of course you can go ahead and do that. Number 3, remove buyer's remorse. So this is a big mistake that I see a lot of brands make, especially when it comes to problem-solving products. What you want to do is remove buyer's remorse. So show success stories of other customers who have bought the exact same product that you just sold to this person, and just show them the benefits, how to use this product, and really just remind them why they bought this in the first place. Number 4, again, similar to this in terms of like reminding them why they bought it, removing buyer's remorse. We really want to drill it in like, here's how you use your product, set expectations, here's maybe an aftercare kit, here's what the service or plan of action looks like over the next 1, 2, 3 months. Take them on that journey, keep educating them. Just because they bought from you, you want to keep nurturing them further, because then they're going to feel welcomed with you, they're going to trust you, and again, they're going to keep coming back from you again and again, building that VIP loyalty, right? Number 5, educational, give more information about the products, or promote relevant blogs / articles that can tie into that product as well. So we're just really pumping out value, right? Just so they're going to keep coming back to us, even though we're not trying to sell you anything. We're trying to look after you, we're trying to educate you, we're trying to help you get that end result that you're looking for by giving you, of course, more free value. Then we can hit home. See how we just planted those seeds? Then we can hit home. Email number 6, relevant upsell or cross sell. Here's what other customers have purchased similar to your product. Here's how it ties into your product. So that's where we set up the back-end remarketing system that upsells and increases that lifetime value. And it's all tied in to this little beautiful plan of automations and flows. Number 7, ask for a review. And how are we going to do that? So if you ask somebody for a review, do you think they're going to just go ahead and give you a review? No, they haven't got the time of the day. But if you offer them an incentive, like 20% off, yeah, I'd probably consider if you're going to give me 20% off one of your products. And the beauty of this is it's a win-win. Not only are you building up your social proof, you're getting more reviews for your brand, but you're also getting somebody who's already purchased from you before, which means there's no additional acquisition cost to purchase from you again by giving them an incentive. So that's why I love that email. It works really, really well. And again, we're just increasing that lifetime value again and again, because we've 9 times out of 10, if they bought from the cross or upsell, okay, we just made money here. Oh, they've asked me for a review and they've given me incentive. Oh, we've just made money here. Number 8, if it exists, offer a referral system. If it doesn't exist, get one in your business. It's going to become its own sales channel. It's going to become its own ecosystem. Every client I bring on, I get them to put a referral system into their business. And if not reviewed, yeah, again, just ask them for a review and give them that offer / incentive we gave them, okay? That's the customer thank you. Customer win back. Right, so customer win back. If somebody hasn't purchased from you in 90 days, like they've just made no purchases from you in the past 90 days, we don't just want to let them sit there and just sort of rot out in the background and burn. We want to send them a series of emails so that once it's been 3 months, we say, look, we haven't heard from you in a while. We really value you here. We miss you. And just invite them back to the website. Slight nudge, not too pushy. Number 2, again, there's no acquisition cost here because they've already purchased from you before. We haven't heard from them in a while. Let's offer them an incentive. Relate it back to the fact that they bought previously. So just say, you bought this from us before. Here's what we're offering now. Here's what's changed since you was last with us. Maybe you've got new products now to sell to them, right? That they've not been informed about because they don't follow you on socials, but they check their emails. Number 3, bestsellers / reviews. So coming back to that, sort of always keeping it intact with like, here's what's selling now. What they bought back then that was a bestseller is no longer a bestseller. So we want to educate them like, look, we've improved now. These are now our bestsellers. This is our new range. And just show them reviews of this as well. Just add social proof that these are genuinely the bestsellers. Number 4, urgency. 24 hours left to claim that incentive. Coming back to that email here. Okay. Customer win back. Cool. Sunset and engage. So just like the horizon of a sunset, that's 180 degrees there. That's how you remember it. Sunset and engaged. If somebody has not opened from you, an email from you in the last 180 days, we want to say, look, we haven't heard from you in a while. And of course, if you'd rather not be emailed, opt in to unsubscribe. Just give them the option to unsubscribe. If we still haven't heard from them, we're assuming keeping up on socials is good enough. Just be a bit hummy and witty with it. Because people like that, they're like, oh, this brand's actually funny. They're not boring and monotone, right? Do something witty. Say like, look, I hope you're enjoying keeping up with the Kardashians, but we are still here. Okay, don't forget about us. Number 3, this is what we stand for. Here are our unique value standards or USPs. This is our company. And then number 4, literally, they still haven't opened any of these emails. We'll literally go ahead and unsubscribe you. And the reason we're doing this is because we don't want dead weight in our email list, right? It comes back to that earlier, having a clean list for deliverability is going to help you get more open rates from people who are actually engaged in your email list, essentially. So that's why we want to go ahead and unsubscribe them. Plus, to add to that as well, if you are using Klaviyo, which you are because I've told you to, because it's the only option, we want to unsubscribe them because it's going to help with your billing, right? The less people on your profiles on Klaviyo, the less you're going to get billed from Klaviyo. So we only really want people on there who are going to make us money. Otherwise, we're just paying for somebody else's Netflix fee, okay? VIP Flow, they make their 3rd purchase and they are now a VIP. Again, I suppose this does depend whether you're a higher ticket brand versus a low ticket brand. Law of average, 3rd purchase from you, they become a VIP customer. Now, how we want to frame this as well is by having a plain text email for the first email, and we're going to announce they're a VIP from the founder, and we're going to give them an incentive for becoming VIP. So how you really want to frame this is just a blank text email. You want to frame it as like, hey John, really happy to have you here and being one of our prided customers. You are now a VIP customer. My name's Daniel. I'm the founder of X company. I just wanted to go ahead and provide you with this coupon code that you can use from me to you just to say thank you for being one of our customers. Short, sweet, looks like it's actually been written manually by the founder, not from the company. And the reason you're doing that is to make sure they are actually genuinely cared for as a VIP customer, and it goes a long way, right? They're probably going to sit there and think, wow, the founder of Gymshark has just messaged me and told me that I'm a VIP customer, and they're going to go show all the family and friends. That's how it works. Then, of course, email number 2, talk about VIP perks, build a stronger relationship with that customer. This one you can split test. I wouldn't go ahead and do it as a plain text because they'll then clock on that it's not actually from the founder, right? So we go back to the design based ones. That's the only one you want plain text. Now for email number 3, incentive, and of course just talking about the incentive reminder that we gave them on the first one, urgency to claim it, okay? Potentially do that as a plain text as well. You can split test it. Fine, that's the flows. That is everything you need to know, pre-purchase, post-purchase. I hope it all makes sense. When I explain this to clients, you know, talking about the flows from the customer funnel, how it all works, it just makes sense. It's a no-brainer why this wouldn't work. And of course, if you go ahead and look at the results that we've got for previous clients in the case studies above, when you book a call with us as well, when we book calls in, we send our case studies across and everyone's like, wow, it just makes sense. Take a look at that. In addition to, of course, that document I've just shown you here, which you're going to get completely for free, I just wanted to go ahead and take the time to show you how that would work, give you some emails from each flow that we've done for different brands. So if you go open these up, see these different G Drive links here, you'll see here's like a welcome series we've done for a brand. Oh, email number 1. I'm not going to go through this now, but you can flick through these and sort of see what we've done for some of our brands. Again, it's not all exactly to a T. Take this with a pinch of salt. This is the main overarching framework. This is almost like the philosophy. We just then plug and play with different brands and tailor it to each brand. So coming back to that reason of like, you don't want to templatize every single flow for each brand, because each brand's different. Some of this stuff you might not need for some brands, right? Some brands might literally not even need industry myths one or a blog article. Some brands might not even have any blogs to send them to, right? So you do want to tailor it, but you just want to take these different levers here to, of course, handle objections and make it your own for each brand, okay? And that comes with time. So that's the welcome series. Of course, site abandonment flow. There's only 2 in here. I'm not putting like all of the flows inside of here. There are different brands as well. So like this browser abandonment one we've done here is for Bulldog gear. And you can see when it's like a browser abandonment flow, we put product blocks here so it pulls in the product they was viewing. So coming back to the, like, you want to take them back to that cart, or you want to take them back to that exact product. You do that with dynamic product blocks inside of Klaviyo. Cool. That is it. That is a wrap. You now understand everything you need to know from setting up your account, all the email automations, you know, pop-ups, you know, segments, you know, even how to send out campaigns, right? And you even know how to make sure that your emails are being seen and not landing in spam. This is it. I've literally gave you absolutely everything. Nothing has been left uncovered. You've got all the tools you need, all the tools and understanding that I use single-handedly to get an average of 40 to 60% in email revenue for all of my clients. Do not overcomplicate it. Follow this video and recite it when you get lost. You've got access to this entire document. Just remember, like, to keep A/B testing stuff as well. I can't tell you how many people just set up their flows or send out campaigns. They're not running split tests. They're not split testing their call to action buttons. So really do take the time to, of course, go ahead and split test stuff. Call to action here, of course, that's how you can find us, my company, for guaranteed growth. You can see on our website, we literally state it at the top here. We help e-commerce brands add an extra 30 to 250k plus in 60 days or less without costly paid ads. That's it. That's a wrap. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video, and I will see you on the other side.
So that is it. That is everything that I have to teach you today. You have got 3 options now. First option is, of course, what most people do. They absorb all this information, they sit there and they just don't take action. They mentally masturbate. They go, wow, I've done the work now. I've done the hard part. I've sat here for 2 hours, but they just don't action it. I'll do this tomorrow. I'll do this next week. And it just never happens. Option number 2, if you do actually go ahead and action what I've taught you today, I will applaud you, because this does take a lot of time to learn and craft. But if you do it efficiently and correctly and follow the step-by-step guide that I've done in this video, I promise you now, you will see uplift in your account. And for context, for all of my clients, we average around 40 to 60% in attributed email revenue, which is absolutely astounding, right? Could you imagine that in your business? How would that change your business? That's the second option. You do it yourself, you learn, and you, of course, put in the hours. The third option is, of course, you find somebody who knows what they're doing. They do this every single day, clockwork, clockwork. That someone is, of course, someone like myself, somebody who's taught you the ropes and, of course, can get you those guaranteed results, which I've done time and time again. We've got numerous case studies adding an additional 6 to 7 figures to e-commerce brands, and we know what we're doing, which is why we're able to get you those guaranteed results. If you do want to, of course, go ahead and find somebody who gets you those guaranteed results, your guaranteed uplift, of course, click the link in this video. Let's hop on a call. Let's go through your account. Let's see where the missing line is. Where's that missing revenue? And once we've actually analyzed where that dropping point in revenue is, I can say, look, you know, we can guarantee you 30, 50, 200K, whatever it might be, you're going to know first-handedly from myself once we go through this together. So I do want to just go ahead and thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I can tell you're very serious about email marketing. The choice is now in your hand. Regardless of what you do and what you choose to do, I, of course, would like you to go ahead and subscribe this video, as there is going to be a lot more content to come. And of course, you want to be the first to hear about that, right? See you on the other side.